Son of a gun. You walked into the party like you were walking onto a yacht. Your hat strategically dipped below one eye. Your scarf, it was apricot. You had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself cover, and other girls dream that they'd be your partner, they'd be your partner, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Well, you had me several years ago when I was still quite naive. When you said that we made such a pretty pair and that you would never leave. But you gave away the things you love, and one of them was me. I had some dreams, there were clouds in my coffee, clouds in my coffee, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? I had some dreams, there were clouds in my coffee, clouds in my coffee, and you're so vain.
To, you know,
Probably
start
think this
getting,
song is about you. You're so vain.
just try to,
I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? When I hear you went up to Saratoga and your horse naturally won, then you flew your Learjet up to Nova Scotia to see the total eclipse of the sun. Well, you're where you should be all the time, and when you're not, you're with some Underwood spy, or the wife of a close friend, wife of a close friend, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain.
And make sure that you go and subscribe to You're So Vain cover by Russ Willoughby. What a amazing cover of a gorgeous, relevant song. If you want to support us tonight, you can do what Julie Virgo just did in Super Chat. You can just like the video, subscribe. Those are free options. If you want to support us to help with these streams for the next few days, the link is paypal.me/Unirock. In fact, let me put that in the chat and I will pin it to the top. It's the way to support us tonight, tomorrow, and the next few days. Tonight, on this stream, we have information, an update on how you're going to file reports on the fundraiser that Molly Golightly has come out to say we're not going to be able to do anything about. Molly is challenging us to file these reports. We're going to update you on what's going on to get you a centralized local precinct to start with so they can feel the weight, so they can get the breadth of how many people were affected due to you filing reports. We are making great progress, but we still have days ahead of us. A lot of people want to think that doing something like this happens in the snap of a finger, that it just happens overnight. And I can't really get mad at people for feeling that way. Though I will tell you, it actually takes weeks, if not months. And once you have things set up and people can file those reports, thank you, Sticky. Once you have that set up and people file reports, it can take a year, 2 years before, progression on some kind of investigation can really happen. Though at the same time, I've seen fundraiser situations very similar to this one be fast-tracked due to the circumstance. So we'll just have to wait and see there. The other part of my title says pick a side, or earlier when I first made the title, and I didn't get everything into the title I wanted to be there, it said they want me to pick a side. And my answer is no, I will not pick a side. I will not take a side. We are here to do the content that we're going to do, which is to tell the story of what really happened without anybody getting in the way. We don't need anybody to get in the way. We've got everything recorded, hundreds of hours of recordings. It is a monumental task to go through it all, but that's what commentators do on the internet. That's what I do. I commentate, I tell these stories, I give my opinion, and then I hear your opinion. So we don't need Molly as much as Molly says that she dares us to actually do something. Nothing's going to happen. Now, interestingly, Molly said, go ahead and contact the FBI. Nothing's going to happen. Who said anything about the FBI? This is all going to be handled locally. I just got off the phone earlier today. I'm going to update you on what happened there. I'll break down every screenshot that I just showed you coming in. I've got a bunch of video clips, been prepping since yesterday when I went offline. And also, the last part of my title, Clipping Funding Vid. We've got more sources where they asked you for money. We don't just have the groups. We don't just have the tweets. We've got the video clips where they asked you for the money so you can hear what they told you. Let me give you an example. Do you recall when LATISHA is telling her story? You've seen where early on she told her story about visiting Vaughn, wanting to stay there. She couldn't because she had to get back to work. But once she got home and interacted with Molly Golightly, LB, and Justin or Justice for All, it all of a sudden became Dre wasn't allowing her to see her son. It wasn't work. It wasn't double shifts. Dre's preventing her. People demanding that I pick a side are wanting me to essentially support Dre or support Molly or go against Dre. And I'm here to tell you right now, if you think that's my kind of content, you're watching the wrong show. You'll just not have to watch my show. I'm not going to, in any story that I cover, take someone's side. What I'll do, though, is look at the entire thing, and I'll let you know how I feel about each thing that happens. Because there are parts of this story where Molly didn't really do too much wrong. Then there's parts of the story, 99.99999% of it, where she did a lot wrong. You got Dre. She did parts of this story where she is a victim, a horrible victim in this. There's parts of this story where she's not. There's parts of this story where she broke the law, did immoral things. That's Dre. That's Molly. That's LATISHA. Everyone who is involved in the core part of this story has done right things and wrong things, and that's our job. It's to basically tell the real story. These are people. These are human beings. There is no one side that's always right and one side that's always wrong, one side that's always the victim and one side that's always the perpetrator. And a lot of this story, it's where it starts to really hit people the wrong way, because they want to go in and they want you to they want to look at a YouTuber like Molly, myself, Katie, someone else that's been covering this story, and say, tell me who the good guy is and tell me who the bad guy is, so that I can take that side and I can support. So I'm going to tell you who the good guys are in this story right now. Nobody involved is the good guy. The bad guy, there's a lot of bad guys though. Either way, we got a lot to do, and every time I get talking, as much as I'd love to just sit here and talk to you all night, the more I talk, the less time I have to actually show you what's going on. And tomorrow, luckily, I don't have to do as much of the phone calls and the other things that I had to do today. I didn't get the best news. I'm not going to come in here and lie to you. I'm not going to do what Molly does and hype this stuff up. I'm going to tell you the good news and the bad news, and I'm going to let you know where we sit. We're going to do that right now. August 15th of 2022. It's a Monday, broadcasting from the East Coast of the glorious United States of America. As always, wherever you're from is glorious too. I've met people all over the world and loved people everywhere I went. You know, I don't have a lot. I normally do this big long intro, but instead we're going to rush right into it tonight, because this is UniRock Live. And thank you, Sticky Notes, for joining. Appreciate you very much. Do you think it's a good idea to update the public? What? On how many donations they've taken in? Nope. Here we go. Here we go. Now, this is where I'm most comfortable. This is the newsroom. I like it because I can see your chat. This is the bottom of your chat. This is the top of your chat. Once this goes up, it comes down to the bottom here. This is the stream boss. Whenever you donate, whenever you super chat, it damages the stream boss. If you kill the stream boss, you become the stream boss. Basically, the stream boss is whoever kills the stream boss. So it basically just shouts one of you out by putting you on the screen for a little bit if you are the person who kills the stream boss. This is our event list. It tells you if someone subscribed or donated. It keeps like the last 3 people right there just to shout them out. And as most of you know, at the end of the stream and throughout the stream, I'll run a credit list, which is me thanking people that have joined the channel, subscribed, memberships, super chats, whatever, and it'll scroll on a list. That'll be more towards the end of the show. So just to explain, people are saying they want me to explain this screen a little bit. Right here is where you can read how to get information to us or how to support us. When Navy comes in next, I'm going to have him tell me his Twitter @ and the email address that he's been using for you guys to send in information, so that it'll be on the screen. It'll be a lot easier for you to find. This is our current viewer count, and this is the camera, this is the screen. So let's get started. We've got these images. I've gone over some of them, but I have not gone over all of them. I noticed that we missed a few of these. I didn't have a few of them the first time we covered them. This is between Marissa and a moderator. That's what I've been told before the stream. And as always, if you need to correct me, you do not have to super chat. You can tag me by hitting @rockAlot and typing me the message. And if I don't see it, because the chat does move fast, you can retype it multiple times if you need to. Get my attention, okay? Flava, good to see you. Anon, good to see you. Band-Aid off. Memories, how are you? I hope you're doing good today. Roseanne, good to see you again tonight. Julie Porter, good to see you. Shins, hey, how are you? Wait, did Justin really stop supporting Molly, or is that a rumor? The only thing we've got to show that people have stopped supporting Molly is that LATISHA had spoken against Molly a few weeks ago and insinuated that Molly was doing things to get money out of you. Basically, choosing a way to behave live to incite money out of you. And that was from LATISHA herself. And this is what I don't like. I don't like how Justin and LB and LATISHA and Molly can't say things to each other, can't criticize each other. They have to basically treat each other with kitty gloves, and everything each other does has to be perfect while they're sitting there judging everybody else on the face of the earth. Themselves. And then the difference between what they're doing and between what we do here, we're not judging them. We are looking at their actions. We're looking at what they've publicly posted, and we're giving our opinion on it. We're criticizing it and discussing it. And that's the difference. I know that LATISHA is a mother dealing with this tragedy just like everybody else. It doesn't mean that I like what LATISHA's been doing. It doesn't mean that I am going to be mean to her or that I'm going to be nice to her. It's just that we got to break things down as they are. And unfortunately, in a story where an adult is laying in a hospital fighting for his life, if it's not already too late, it's not the kind of story that is going to have that many good endings. It's not going to have that many good twists or turns. One other criticism I want to initially throw out is that LB, or Leslie Bass, and Justin, or Justice for All, Justin for All, they both left this story so fast. The minute the little bit of criticism flew their way, they ran off, jumped on a different story, and they're trying to get money on a different story now. That whole Justice for Vaughn thing, Molly also, it really wasn't what they said it was. It's almost like they were two-faced. It's almost like they were just showing you what they needed to show you at that time so that they could get your attention, your clicks, your money. But you know what? That's up to you to figure out. I can only give you my opinion. I can only tell you what I see. I can only tell you what I have. I'll always update my opinion with new evidence. So we're just going to jump right into this now, break down these screenshots. This is reportedly from Marissa to a moderator. If you believe it was not a moderator, if you believe it was someone else, type it in my chat and tag me. But let's get moving. Let me make sure I didn't miss any of the super chats or anything. Sarah says, I can't wait for your live tonight. Let's go, Uni. Thank you, Sarah. And I'm glad you're here and glad you're supporting us. Georgia, they fabricated the situation, says, I'm sorry, Georgina. And glad to have you, Georgina. I'm glad you're I'm glad you're in the chat telling me your opinion. I like to read it. Becky P, we've got duality, reality. They both need to disappear off the internet. You know, that's one thing that typically never happens without the platform stepping in. They make a lot of money. But one thing's for sure, the more they do this stuff to you, the more of you wake up, the more of you realize that you were lied to, the more of you want to go out and find YouTubers that are actually going to give you both sides of a story. They're not going to be afraid to report the truth of what's happening to you, knowing that if they didn't give you both sides of the story, they can give you one side instead of both sides, and it can get you whipped up and get you not thinking and get you angry and pulling your emotion. That's why they want to mix those emotions in. And we're people, so a lot of times you can't help it. In stories like this, you're going to mix your emotions in. And the one thing that you can do is tell both sides of the story. You can tell people the criticism against LATISHA. Molly can address the criticism against herself. We addressed a lot of criticism yesterday in our live stream. That's the whole goal. You know, you guys want to criticize us? We'll literally respond. We have, as I said yesterday, we have really sat down and thought out what we think about the situation. It's not something we're just choosing for a whim or just supporting this person on a whim. And in reality, in the end, like you guys know that Katie asked to be unblocked in my chat, right? I might as well give you guys an update on Katie Joy while we're here, right? Katie was in my chat for a while there for a couple streams. And as you guys know, when I unblocked Katie, which might have been 2, 3, 4 streams into this whole thing, I'd made the decision that I wasn't going to talk to Katie until this all died down. And I know she heard me say that. She kept wanting to talk to me. I kept saying, no, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to people that are involved right now in the situation, or I'm going to wait so I can focus my time, focus my energy into what needs to be focused on. And well, she started to make a big fuss about talking to me. She was trying to tell Navy. She was trying to tell other people that she really, really needs to talk to me. She really, really wants to talk to me. And I just stood my ground. I said, I've made my mind up. This story is going to die down before I even consider talking to Katie, or anyone else. So, because I have to keep my head in what we're doing. I have a lot going on. She didn't like that very much. So I don't know if she's like back to hating me. You guys know that Katie has this back and forth thing where sometimes she'll hate me and sometimes she won't. And I always just respond the same way, right? I think that we need to put the content we're working on in front of any type of feelings or petty argument, and that's why I unblocked her in my chat in the first place. I made the decision on whether to unblock her based off of whether or not she was breaking the rules of my chat or breaking the rules of our channel or not. And since she wasn't, and she's still not blocked right now. Molly isn't blocked, LB isn't blocked, and Justin isn't blocked. I went into my block list. I made sure of this. I searched for their names and made sure that they have the ability to come into this live chat along with LATISHA and be able to chat in this chat. And I've encouraged all of them that are currently involved in the story to reach out to me. If Katie is listening and she does want to talk to me about this story, she can get a hold of me through my moderators after this all dies down. I right now have had to, and I'll get into, after I show you these screenshots, some of these video clips, I'll tell you what's going on with filing the reports, and then we'll go on to some of this other stuff. So let's get into it. Let's dive in here, because we've got I know that no matter how fast I work, I'm going to have to end this stream with a lot more to do. So reportedly, between Marissa or Molly Golightly and a moderator, don't tell Crystal Ball anything. She's not good. I didn't have a good feeling about her. I never talked to her or watched her videos. I told LATISHA to be very careful. What we know about the person she's talking to is that this person speaks to Molly, speaks to LATISHA. Got me? Good. She's not trustworthy. Do you think this is a good idea to update the public? Of course, Molly says, what? On how many donations she's received, an update to the public of her total. Molly says no. So this tells us some things. In the background, Molly is making a decision on whether to tell how much money's been raised. Molly does have an influence, or at least a decision-making process, when it comes to informing you of the information you were originally promised full transparency on. And for her to just, act like this compared to how she publicly represents herself, I think it says a lot, doesn't it? In your experience, is this a good idea? And then she immediately says, okay, thank you. Because she reads that she got a response, right? So this is between LATISHA and someone else. I found the person who's talking to Katie. Talking to Katie about you. Remember, she keeps saying the family say death in the family. See that? See this? Oh yeah. Is my son's father and his wife. I guess because I stopped the interview, they are sneaking and talking to her. So this shows that at one point, they looked at Katie, they being Molly Golightly, LATISHA, Molly and LATISHA as a unit, as a group. This shows that both of them are sharing their opinion to each other about specific things going on and acting in unison. And if you think this isn't important, I disagree. I think this shows you evidence that Molly and LATISHA have an interaction. You got to look deeper than what's on the surface, especially when people are lying to you, withholding information, or treating you in the way that Molly has treated you. You've got to start asking yourself, why do they talk? And I say this in every story we cover. Those of you that have been here for a while know this. Why do they forgive who they forgive? Why do they hate who they hate? Why do they team up with who they team up with? Why do they make the decisions they make? Are those decisions made by other people? Do they always agree with this person? Do they always disagree with that person? This shows the formation of a group mentality, a group think, a group chat, a sharing of secrets, a sharing of close information. So also we've known that Molly had that close interaction with LATISHA. And at any point, Molly could ask any question she wants. Now, if you've looked at Molly Golightly, you know she is not afraid to ask people exactly what she's thinking or to bring up the hard topics. So do you think that Molly talked to LATISHA about things like LATISHA's background, whether LATISHA should be getting this money, whether LATISHA is the right person to collect money in Vaughn's name? I fully believe that LATISHA and Molly had those conversations. So that's the first question to you in the poll, because I want to know what you have to say. I like to know what you guys think, so it matters. Do you think LATISHA and Molly talked about the quote important topics? Yes or no? And what I mean by that is, behind the scenes, the important topics are the topics that people should have been told but weren't. I've already shown that proof that moderators were literally in the same group. And I'm about to show you something big here in a second, right? When it comes to that group. So moderators or administrators in the group are telling people, we don't want people to know about their backgrounds. We don't want people to know information that might make them stop donating. It at least shows you the admins of the group are focused on money, making money. That was a important decision-making factor in what they did, the making of money, okay? These administrators made decisions, kept information withheld that would affect the amount of money you'd give. If they knew that you learning something would cause you not to want to donate more money, they tried to actively keep it from you. We know this, right? So here comes the poll. Do you think LATISHA and Molly talked about those questions, the important questions, the stuff that would have revealed to you that maybe you should wait before you donate? Answer the poll. Here it comes. I'm putting it out right now. Back to this. I guess I stopped the interview. They are sneaking and talking to her. It's really going to backfire on them because on him, because what he's not failing to realize is that he is still incarcerated. This is where the rumor, the information, that thing out there that he was incarcerated. And I wonder, maybe if LATISHA started to talk about her ex-husband being incarcerated or not when he started making some of that money. Is there a type of jealousy going on? Maybe it's something different than that. But I mean, at least right here, I'm thinking that that could be a possibility. Roseanne says, objection, trickery. Where's the proof of transparency during lives? BS. Exactly. I agree with you. Then they say, that LATISHA says, can you talk? 1 second. They call each other. So we don't have the information that was stated in the phone calls. Remember, anytime these things happen, when people are withholding information from you, the stuff that you're lucky enough to see is just the surface. The majority of all the things they talked about would have been on the phone. The majority would have been not typed out so that screenshots wouldn't be taken, right? Now we've got Molly. Wynette contacted a lawyer now. Really? Because of Katie or something else? Katie. She's obsessed. Now, the thing that I don't understand here is that Molly Golightly acting like someone else is obsessed with something. Molly acting like that Katie, you know, when Katie and Molly both pop up, you notice that they both jump on stories in the same way. When I first saw them interacting with each other, one of my first statements was, yeah, they seem like they cover that same kind of stuff in that same kind of way, right? I'm driving with focus turned on. I'll see your messages when I get where I'm going. So now we're going to move over to this Justice for Vaughn group, okay? This is posted in Justice for Vaughn by LATISHA. This is July 5th. This is early. Got me? It's been a very long day, and I want to thank everyone who contributed to the Justice for Vaughn Fund. This, I think, is pretty significant. It does show you that LATISHA was involved with using a hashtag. She was involved with a fund early on involving justice for her son, right? All these things that people go back and forth on. Well, she was raising money to go see him, and then she was raising money to get a lawyer, and then because all those people watched an evolution of the situation. So some people saw early on, some people saw the middle, some people saw the end, some people saw the whole thing, right? You're able to see the GoFundMe amount, and this is the Cash App amount so far. We've been contacting lawyers from Savannah, Georgia, Phoenix, Arizona, trying to get somebody to take the case. It's pretty hard right now. Seem to be two reasons for needing a lawyer. One, visitation for my family, which is just insane. We already know that Dre let them in. They didn't have an issue visiting him. They could have visited him longer. They could have seen him more. So this is very confusing. Two, justice for Marvon. Now, you don't have to hire a lawyer in order to get justice for Marvon. What you need to do is take the evidence that something wrong happened and go and turn it into the police and make your case. Now, some people need a lawyer for that. But the point is, you don't have to go and file to a court, file for a civil suit. Everything you file costs money. Every time you talk to your lawyer, it costs money and it gets really expensive. So if you wanted to get a lawyer just to help you present the information to the police, while it might be somewhat expensive, it still isn't going to be as expensive as going through this entire, and you could tell the lawyer how much you got to spend. I got $1,000. I got $3,000. I need to grab as much information as you can grab, and I need you to go and give it to the police for me. They just need to initiate a criminal investigation is all that LATISHA should have wanted. And for her to act like she needs this long-term, multiple lawyers, not willing to put out evidence of it, that's what got us into the situation. But let's keep going. Both categories are very expensive. I can fight for one or the other. Number one, even though I want to see my son badly, I also want justice for my son also. The cheapest lawyer we found who's willing to take the visitation case is $4,000 retainer. There's no pro bono. That's crazy because LATISHA, I've got it recorded, saying that there were 2 lawyers offering pro bono work. How does that stack? Why do they just come out and say anything they need to say? And what it really seems like is that because they want to say what'll get them out of whatever they're in at the time, or they need to say whatever will incite you to give them money at the time. It's what it's starting to look like. Actually, it's been looking that way, but the cheapest lawyer we found, $4,000. There's no pro bono. There's no legal aid. This is a real fight. Please don't get on here with that. If you have a better option, then by all means, let me know. Yeah, go talk to a detective. Give them all the video evidence that you claim that shows all the wrongdoing, right? Let them know that you need them to look into this situation. Well, what did anyone do wrong? We're worried that somebody poisoned him. We're worried that they were purposely feeding him the wrong thing or something, right? Whatever you're worried about, you tell it to the police. Did LATISHA do the free option of calling in and making that, statement to the cops? Did she file a police report? Because if she didn't, at least do that. Why would you do that first? Because you could get a hold of a detective. You could file a report, and then without even hiring an attorney, they could start an investigation. And you wouldn't have to pay a dime. Does it cost you money if you go walk into the police station and file a report? Hell no, it doesn't. Why do people hire lawyers? Most of the time, they hire lawyers if they did something wrong, right? To defend yourself. Now, I already said you could hire a lawyer to help you get everything together and go give it and pressure the police to do something. I said that that's an option. But then again, because there wasn't these long talks that really focused on progressing the situation, personally, I feel that's why we didn't get anywhere there. If you have a better option, let me know. You get the picture. This woman meant what she said about me never visiting my son. This is on July 5th. Meant what she said about me never visiting my son. And I know that Dre said that in a call or in a live stream. The point is, though, once people reached out to Dre, once the father reached out to Dre, she let him go. Once LATISHA reached out to Dre, as we've heard LATISHA say, Dre let LATISHA go. We have the first conversation between Dre and LATISHA, and Dre is responding to LATISHA saying, yes, you can come see him. I want to put the past behind us, right? You guys had seen that. So we've got these other posts where they attempt to show some type of like balance. She's doing everything in her power. I spoke with the higher ups at the committee. Not a chance without a judge signing off to override what she has in place. So again, this doesn't make sense because we already know that LATISHA claims that she got to see Marvon. We know that the husband, the ex-husband, we got the separated family, the blood father, got to see him. So maybe in the beginning she thought something and then it changed. But why not be transparent with the people giving money? As I showed you in the beginning, Molly doesn't want you to be given information. Why is Molly withholding information? Why is she withholding the amount of money that's been donated? Why is she saying it's a bad idea after promising you full transparency? Why is she saying that it's a bad idea for you to be informed with how much money's been given? These are all glaring questions, okay? Let's keep moving. So this one gets a little bit sad. It's LATISHA, it saddens me to inform you all that my son's injury is the result of him trying to unalive himself. My family and I are in total disbelief. I will defend LATISHA on this. Any family experiences grief. They experience the stages of grief. We've all heard about that being an issue where not being able to accept, being in denial, right? You get anger, you get sadness, hopelessness. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen, and you really are in a very just difficult state. You're in a really bad position. Anyone is. Got me? We don't understand how something of this magnitude could happen. It really breaks my heart even further that his wife knew this was the cause along of his injury and refused to tell his family this. We ask that you please keep us in your prayers. I think there's a good reason why she refused to tell you this in the beginning. I don't know what happened as it went on, but I know in the beginning, in my opinion, she had a good reason. She didn't trust you. She didn't want the information out. She didn't want Vaughn. If she wanted the opportunity for Vaughn to wake up and people not to know that he did this, because she wanted, as she said in her videos, without defending Dre at all. Again, I'm not on Dre's side. I'm not on LATISHA's side. Even though I've been demanded to pick a side. But the point is, Dre early on came out and said to everybody that she wanted it to be Marvon's decision when he woke up, whether he talks about what happened. She wanted him to make the decision. And she had a respect for him to have the decision-making process, according to Dre. Okay? Smiles says, trust and believe. MGL does nothing for free. Greedy biatch. She makes me sick. You know, most of the time, I wouldn't read that message. I would censor the biatch part, but after the way that Molly's treated me, and I'm going to show you some video clips coming up, she doesn't like saying my name. She doesn't like mentioning me, but she loves basically getting up there and trying to take shots at us. And she's not doing it just because of me. She doesn't know anything about me. She's doing it because you're here. She wants to take shots at you. She wants you to feel bad. She considers you the enemy. You are people that gave them massive amounts of money. You were the kind people that listened to her request money and stepped up to the plate, right? And she's got the nerve to turn you into an enemy. That's called being unappreciative. If you're going to ask for money in the way that LATISHA and Molly, Justin for All, and LB did, and instigate that donation, they should, regardless, they should put their feelings to the side for the people that did step up and give money, right? Maybe for people who didn't, they could be more honest with, but they should be professional, in my opinion, when dealing with that, especially when they knew it had to do with this situation, right? I think a lot is coming out. A lot is coming to the forefront to show you that when it comes to YouTubers, and it comes to the way that they handle these things, you got to really give them time, and you got to really look at the way they've acted in the past. I always tell people to go look at what else is out there on the platform. Don't judge any YouTuber by what someone else says. Judge them based on the clips that people show, the proof that they put out, because people will lie just as easily as they'll do anything else. It really breaks my heart even further his wife knew and didn't tell us. Please give us time to process this. So again, this is Injustice for Vaughn. This is her posting on the 6th. This is a day after the other message. This is July 4th. I really need to help get a lawyer for visitation rights to see my son. If no one wants to contribute to GoFund, here's my Cash App. Everything helps. Or if you know a lawyer that practices family law in Tucson that's willing to take our case, please let me know. I've contacted a lot of lawyers in Tucson and surrounding areas. I'm in Georgia, and if I have to get one here, it's really going to cost because they'll have to do a lot of traveling back and forth with the case. Thanks so much for everyone who's supported thus far. It's appreciated. And then we've got a different group on July 7th had found out what was going on in these other groups and found out about the story. This is in Vinny Politan's personal group. Ladies, Vinny, this is the next huge story. I've been on it 22 hours. Move over Casey Anthony, step aside Jody Arias. I really think what they're doing here is hyping it a little bit compared to those stories, but anyway. Makeup artist and a vlogger streams a year of terror. She's hooked on an alkali vegan diet. Kratom, I guess, is what they're trying to show there. She starves her family with nothing but herbs. I've never seen anything like it. Her young marine husband is in a vegetative coma, hung himself 6 weeks ago. She streamed herself slowly killing him. This is unreal. Justice for Vaughn. And then we've got postings from Molly Golightly in the group, and it's Molly telling people to go watch her video. That she's killing them slowly. No, the videos are horrifying. Where are those videos? Go to the Facebook group, Justice for Vaughn. So this is Molly telling people to go to this Facebook group. Go to this Facebook group, Justice for Vaughn. This was taken on July 7th. Got me? This was put in 5 weeks before. 5 weeks before. I agree, Susie. Court TV wouldn't touch this story. MGL was hyping it for her own gain. I agree. Molly was involved in this story for a lot longer than I thought. If we take the 5 weeks, that's what 5W stands for right here. 5 weeks. Got me? And we look at this being posted on July 7th. 5 weeks before July 7th. Get me? But what it shows is that Molly is involved in Justice for Vaughn well before we thought. I sent you the first video she did. I saw that. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate you. So what this shows you is the login from what appears to be an administrator looking at the group, and that there's 12,000 members of this public group. This is what Katie posted on July 7th. This is 2 days after the stuff I just showed you. Molly is selling her new story hard in private groups. She compares Andrea McCray to Jody Arias and Casey Anthony. She tells them the group she streamed herself slowly killing him. This is unreal. Under comments, she responds to someone and says that she's killing them slowly, as in the kids and Vaughn. Molly has repeatedly accused Andrea of harming Vaughn. She has called Andrea a murmurer, or has said that Andrea is slowly, you know. Molly wanted this to be her next big story, next big crime that would take over social media, but no crime occurred, according to Katie. Months later, her fans are accusing anyone posting facts about the case of harassing a family or lying. Or they tried to insinuate that the only person that thought Andrea could have tried to murmur Vaughn was Katie, or, you know, her. False. Because she is showing posts from Molly. And isn't it weird that Molly has her hand out like this? Someone snapped this picture right at that time, like she's handing something to the police officer. Isn't that strange? This is Molly posting this in Vinnie Politan's personal group. So she's the one who posted this here. She's running around telling people, yo, this is the next big story. This is proof that this is Molly seeing this as the next, trying to create it, to make it the next big story. She's sowing the seeds to build the hype. It's not that she covers, when I cover a story, when you saw me upload about this story on Unirock 2, what I did was go watch everything I could find about the story, and then I covered it, and then I moved on. I didn't go around cheating the system by going around and saying, oh my God, this great big story is coming. This is the biggest thing ever. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I go around and cover the story and act like that I'm appalled at everything that's gone on and I'm shocked all the time. How in the world is Molly so shocked in those videos we saw when she knew everything about this story before she covered it at all? Feel me? You see where I'm going with that? So one thing we're going to be doing, I've been doing it off the air, but I want to do it with you, is to go back to when they're talking with LATISHA and listen to what they said to get you to donate money.
To do the best I could with visitation that way, because I can't pick up the phone and call the hospital. I can't pick up the phone and call Andrea and ask how my son was doing. I text her, you know, to just let her know, hey, we're leaving, and I still hadn't gotten a response. So
this is streamed on July 26. July 26. LATISHA said she needed a lawyer in those images in the Justice for Vaughn group on July 5th, July 4th. July 26th, 27th, 28th, she's streaming here. You want some rocks, Chaz? Okay, I can give you guys some rocks. I'll give you some rocks. You got to type her emoji to get them. She is streaming here with them on July 26th, acting as if she's being prevented from seeing her son. So we need to know the timeline. When did LATISHA visit Marvon? When did she go? When did she leave? Why did she keep telling people after she knew she could go see him that she couldn't see him anymore? Why did she say she needed a lawyer, but she didn't even bother to call and file a police report? She didn't even try to instigate the police to investigate, from what we know right now. What is the timeline? LATISHA should want to help us build this timeline. Molly should help us want to build this timeline. They should want to give us proof and evidence, which they would have through their personal communications. But they want to prevent us from doing that. Now, the funny part is Molly and LATISHA and LB and Justin are preventing us, and at the same time trying to act like that we don't know what we're talking about while they're withholding information. One thing that they did was have some of their audience members when I was playing that yesterday, remember when Molly had that disaster stream and she flipped out? They were criticizing me for only playing clips. If Uni would play the whole thing instead of some clips, he'd know what happened. Molly took it down so that I couldn't play the whole thing. So you, foaming at the bit Molly supporters, need to go tell your queen to release the video public on her channels so that we can watch the whole thing. If you think I wouldn't sit here and watch the whole thing, you're crazy. Also, Molly did a hit piece recently where she's trying to tell us that she loves seeing all the hate bonding going on against her. She loves it, even though she's causing it. She's withholding information. She's lying. She's attacking. She's doxing. She's fighting. Drama, drama, drama. She does all that. And when people speak up and criticize her, now we're haters. We've been fair to Molly. We could have been a lot harder on Molly. I could have been harder on everybody involved in this story. A lot of you were telling me I need to be harder on them. I agree with you. I do. The reason I'm not right now is because I want to get everything together first. And it'll take weeks to get there. We're talking about hundreds of hours of streams. We're talking about constant posts in public and private groups. Every day, more information comes out, more screenshots come out, right? So if you want free rocks, what I do is I tell you, you gotta type or emoji in the chat to get free rocks. Rocks are my stream currency, like so that you can play little games in my chat. And I'll go ahead and give you 100,000 rocks right now. I'll do a countdown in the chat and then I'll pay them out. But we got a lot more to look at. I just don't understand. If Molly's not doing anything wrong, why is she acting the way she is? She's definitely acting guilty. As guilty as can be. Guilty as sin. Guilty as sin. Lucy says her philosophy is the more people talk about her, even if it's the ugliest of truth, it means that she's successful. That's her own words. I do have to tell Molly, newsflash, she's wrong, because what happens when you do that, the people that are constantly talked about across the platforms for the negative things they're doing, not when people lie about them, but when people show evidence and they call them out, that's called being a lolcow. It's where you end up being so crazy, so evil, so negative, whatever it is, so cringy, that people literally hate watch and laugh at you. So when you've got a situation like this, sometimes fraud raisers or fundraising issues will they'll look like someone's hating on you or whatever. We don't even have time for that. You guys have a lot of money out of your pockets that people lied to you to get. And that money, those refunds have been denied. They've been turned off. Those people have lied to you is to the highest degree to keep your money. To the highest degree. It's what you get with a lot of not a Z-list celebrity, not a, you know, reality television Z-list celebrity, but you get this with a lot of people that failed at being celebrities. And what they'll do is they just realize because of how they acted in public, because of the choices they've made, they're never going to have the celebrity status. They're never going to have success when it comes to that. So they think to themselves, what's better? Her having a low amount of viewers and having to do it the long, hard way? Or what if she cheats the system and she just flips out and acts crazy and takes advantage of dead people and tragedies and just it becomes evil as hell? If she makes more money being evil, does she succeed? you only succeed in that instance if your measure of success is money. What happens though if you get in a lot of trouble for something like this? Is it worth it? I wouldn't think it would be. So let's hear what she had to say about all of you. What has she had to say about all of you? About me? About anyone criticizing her? See, Molly doesn't know the difference between criticism and hate. So if you get up here and you talk about what Molly did wrong and offer constructive criticism and talk about how it can be fixed and talk about how things can be solved, she thinks you're a hater.
That girl, I love seeing all the, what they call a hate bonding going on. Love it. Absolutely love it. You want to know something?
Hate bonding. Hate bonding? Did she make this up? I've never been on the internet for a real long time. I've never heard anybody use hate bonding.
Nothing makes me feel better than knowing that I rent all that fucking space in your head for free. Because if you truly didn't like me, you would never watch anything that had my name in it.
So you must really love Dre McCray, because I've got lots of videos of you watching Dre, of you watching Katie. You love Katie, don't you? Right? You love Dre McCray. You're the biggest Dre fan, because you wouldn't have watched Dre. You just said it. You wouldn't watch Dre if you didn't like her. You just said that. And we've got videos of you guys sitting there watching everything she ever did.
That girl?
That's right. She thinks her doo-doo doesn't stink. She thinks that she's all roses and flowers.
I love seeing all the, what they call a hate bonding going on. Love it. Absolutely love it. You want to know something? Nothing.
So do you guys think that LATISHA and Molly talked about the important topics? 56% of you said yes, 43% said no. That's almost a 50-50 split. We're going to give that a 50-50 split to account for the error in the poll. And so that really is, half of you think that LATISHA and Molly kind of shared each other's secrets, and half of you think they didn't. So
makes me,
I believe they did talk behind the scenes. I think they did share information with each other. I think it's why they defend each other. And sometimes you'll see them take shots at each other behind the scenes. I think LATISHA needs to wake up and realize that Molly is a sinking ship. And if LATISHA keeps sailing with Molly, she's going to go down with her.
feel better than knowing that I rent all that fucking space in your head for free. Because if you truly didn't like me,
so what you're saying is, oh, hold on.
You would never watch anything that had my name in it.
Okay, so when you watch Dre, when you watch these videos, the reason you're watching them, Molly, is because Dre is renting space in your head. Okay, gotcha. Because we're watching your videos to be able to figure out what happened, because you're withholding information from everybody. You're attacking everybody. You're lying on people. So that's why we're watching. We don't have to watch you because we love you. I mean, I get it. You're admitting that everyone that you watch, it's because you love them. I get that you're admitting that. That's just not how we work. I'm glad you're admitting you work that way. That's not us.
You think you're so fucking...
Just Donna says, some people misunderstood your question. I'll re-ask it in a little bit. If you think people misunderstood it, because it was pretty vague. I just didn't want to type a bunch of stuff into it. We'll ask it again later.
Funny. You think you're so thug. Fuck you.
Wait, who thinks they're funny or thug? Because the only person I've seen try and act thug around here is you, Molly, to be honest. Let's hear that again. Who's trying to act thug again?
Watch anything that had my name in it. You think you're so fucking funny. You think you're so thug. Fuck you.
You see, I think she's talking to us. I think she's mad at us. I don't think she likes my thumbnails. I don't think she likes my content. I don't think she likes the questions we're asking. I don't think she likes the fact that we are getting you a place to file your reports where it will make a difference. It'll actually mean something in this situation. And I think because she's angry and wants us to go away, she's letting it loose here. I think she's letting it loose. But truly now, I think she's talking to all of you. I don't think she's just talking to me. I think she's talking to all of you.
Trust me. If I don't like you, I am not clicking on anything that has to do with
You're lying. We also know that you're a pathological liar because you didn't like Andrea. You didn't like Andrea, but you and Justin and LB, you guys clicked on her stuff for a month.
you.
So you're lying.
I honestly thought that that was like the normal thing to do.
No, you didn't. You're lying
But
again.
now I'm finding out that I'm the one that's not normal. Because
No, you're just the one who's pathologically lying, Molly. Your actions are what we judge. We are not going to judge you on your words and what you pretend and what you just, the two faces you show, what you tell everybody. Words are easy. You can just get up there and say whatever you want and think that what, we just trust you. Nobody trusts you at all. And you shouldn't trust me either. You shouldn't trust anyone on this platform because you don't live with us. You don't know us. YouTubers should not be trying to exploit your trust. We shouldn't be. If we want to make a judgment, we should show why we're making the judgment. If we want to give you a theory, we should show what brought us to that theory, which is exactly what I'm doing right now.
I guess there's some sort of natural. Now I'm finding out that I'm the one that's not normal. Because I guess there's some sort of
At least you're starting to admit the truth.
natural curiousness to know what people are saying of the people that you're
Well, thanks for admitting that that's how you feel here.
jealous of.
See, Molly, you get to speak for you. I get to speak for me. Everybody else gets to speak for themselves. Got me? So you're just basically projecting here. Projecting is where you take how you feel, and when you're dishonest AF, you try to make it seem like everyone else feels that way when it's really you expressing how you feel.
Guess what? I won't say her name right now, but a lot of people would be very shocked. I have a screenshot this afternoon. And you know what this girl who claims to have been my friend for a long time said?
For a long, I think that accent that doesn't come out that often with her, I think it comes out when she's trying to be dishonest, I think this is like what you got to start figuring out Molly's tics, her body language. I think it starts to come out like where she starts exaggerating things when she's lying or when she's attacking someone.
I can't believe, this is what she said. I cannot believe that Jake got a Camaro on donation money. Fundraiser money? I never made a fundraiser for my kid's car. And I think you know that. And the fact that you would say fucking something like that, you're a piece of shit. You're fucking jealous. I get it.
You jealous? Is that what you got to tell yourself to feel good about all the stuff you do? That people are jealous of you? Why would anyone want to be in your position, Molly? You're in a horrible position right now. Every day, more and more people are finding out what you've done. They're finding out how you lied, how you went and attacked. You found out this guy died or he was dying, and you went and said to yourself, I'm going to monetize that shit by lying my ass off. You didn't say you're going to go report on it. You're going to go talk about it. You're going to be honest about it. You wanted to put a specific narrative out there so that you could rake in the money. And when you realized that LATISHA was going to come on your show, you cooked up this big giant thing to where you and all your friends were going to cook these narratives out, and it didn't matter what the evidence showed, because having, a rope on screen while you're tying it up and you're trying to show people how she could have snuck up behind him, and even though like you've seen her stand next to him, she would have never been able to lift him at all, and he could have easily outweighed her and out he could have attacked her, and you know what I'm saying. But so I mean, you just go so far, and this is how we know that this is really getting to you. It's starting to eat you up. You're starting to worry about all these reports going in and maybe actually having an effect, and it's starting to really make it to where you can't go live without addressing this stuff.
Yeah, I know. I raised the new bar. I get it. My family gets it. Adrian gets it. Jake gets it. I raised the new bar when I decided to take my family gets it. Adrian gets it, Jake gets it. I raised the new bar.
I think she's telling us that maybe her family has been critical of her. Maybe they don't even like what she's done. You know? I mean, it really doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this story and see what happened.
When I decided to take my happy little ass to Target in my pajamas and go over there and stop and pick up a $30,000 fucking car for my son who doesn't even have a permit. But guess what?
Are you bragging? Are you trying to brag? You think money means everything or something? You realize that a lot of people, when you show off your money, before anyone's going to respect you for having that money, they're going to ask you how you got it. See what I'm saying?
It came out of my bank accounts, my credit card. Eat shit. Guess what? I didn't have a mother that could buy
You're really gross. Is that all you talk about? Is eating doo-doo anymore?
me a car, much less give me rides. So you know what? I work my fucking ass off. I work in the morning, I work in the afternoon, I work in the evening, I work at night. I work so fucking much, I don't even know what the fucking date is. All right?
I don't think that has to do with you working.
No, listen. I don't even know what the fucking date is. All right? No, listen. Jake did not know he was getting a car. All right? He didn't. I was planning on buying it for him in November. Nope.
Well, you know, I don't want to hear her completely rant out. The most important part of this is the beginning.
That girl. I love seeing all the what they call hate bonding going on.
Hate bonding. People that are critical of what she's done and how she's handled this are hating, and they're bonding through that hate, according to her. We've got new screenshots. Well, they're not brand new, but new to look at right now. And these are the ones I was wanting to see earlier. One of my mods just grabbed them for me. Appreciate it. Because, you know, I don't do anything. Yep, I don't do nothing. I just can't understand how someone can be so cruel. I don't either. It's awful. Just between us, we haven't posted Vaughn's dad's Cash App info. No one knows, but he's actually incarcerated. He got special permission to have the visit. Don't say anything publicly. We haven't said it publicly. You know, you gotta hide information from people that are gonna give money, because then they might think twice about giving the money. Oh my, why is Molly posting it? I feel posted will take away from LATISHA's donations, and she needs them with lawyers. I think they're lying when they say that she needs them for lawyers, because she would have had one a month and a half ago and been able to show proof. When we started to criticize her, she would have released the proof already, if it existed. That's how I feel. People are going to be pissed once they find out WOACB is posting it. Molly doesn't know. LATISHA only told me. I don't believe this either. Because if Molly didn't know, when Molly found out, she would have rushed over to her channel and blown that shit up. She doesn't want to look like she's starting trouble. Who doesn't want to look like she's starting trouble? LATISHA. Okay, we already know then that this came from LATISHA. When she says we, she's talking about we being her and LATISHA. She admits it in the next paragraph. Got me? I haven't posted his Cash App. I don't want it to come back to me. It's sad. LATISHA said he barely spoke to his son. Well, Dre and Marvon both admitted LATISHA barely spoke to her son. I've played the video. So why doesn't this apply to LATISHA also? I don't understand. How long has he been in jail? I believe since 2018. Now, we already know he's out of jail. He's in a program. You remember that. That's why only the stepmom calls Molly. I hope LATISHA tells Molly she just doesn't want to sound like a troublemaker. No, she doesn't want donation money coming out of her pocket going to someone else. And this is not just important for those reasons. It's important because what it shows is you got played, people. You got played in the groups, from the core groups. Oh, now you may understand why at the beginning of this stream I showed you that Molly is sharing those same groups. She's involved in those groups, right? You got played from the ground level. They withheld the most important information from you, knowing that important information, why would it stop you? Why would it stop you from donating? Because you wouldn't want someone who has a tendency of wasting or stealing or lying to have your hard-earned money. So they lied. They withheld information so that you would give people that you would normally not give money. Everyone who helped do that, they all should be standing up and helping you get your refunds, but they are the same people that were in the Facebook groups talking shit on you for wanting a refund. You know it. I know it. Don't think LATISHA and Molly don't know it. That's why Molly's mad. So you notice, typically when I show you these things, I try not to tie together everything for you. I know you're smart enough to be able to get it. But since we've got people like Molly out there talking shit on us, I'm just going to go ahead and go step by step through this from now on. I'm going to handle this with baby gloves. I'm going to make sure that I tell you every little piece of it, just so people don't think that we need people to know the truth. The truth is that we're bonding through trying to help each other, trying to prevent each other from being ripped off and trying to fix it. We're not bonding because of hate. Right, Molly?
Cause you got that. 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 Like you, cause you got that. Something that I need in my life, so give it to me. Cause you got that. Like you, cause you got that. Something that I need in my life, that I need, so cause you got
Try
that.
to do the best I could with visitation that way, because I can't pick up the phone and call the hospital. I can't pick up the phone and call Andrea and ask how my son is doing. I text her, to just let her know, hey, we're leaving, and I still hadn't gotten a response. So I guess she says she's gone and she don't have to speak to me anymore. So
Have you gotten to see your grandson?
no, the second day I was there, that was my question.
No? Let's see. July 26th. She's not talking about Marvon here. She's talking about the grandson, which would be Marvon's son.
Would it be part? And I didn't just say my grandson, I say the grandchildren.
But you've never seen them according to Dre and Marvon, right? You see, that could be a reason why that Dre was a little bit hesitant, it's the fact that right now, Dre and the grandson are going through Marvon Jr. being in the hospital. I don't think they're in that mood to meet family members for the first time. This is why you probably should have reached out and tried to see the kids earlier, so that when something like this happens, those hurdles aren't in the way. Nobody can judge Dre, in my opinion. I'm not taking her side, but nobody can judge Dre for saying, we're not gonna see anyone new right now. We're not seeing anyone. We're not in a good mood. We're all up. We're all sad. We're all unhappy. We're dealing with a tragedy. So the last thing we need is this additional stress on us. Right?
Can I please see the kids while I'm here? And she said, absolutely no.
Well, I want to hear what Molly, I want to hear how Molly responds. I want to hear how she responds to why, right? Is she going to let, I don't know, her audience know that LATISHA had all of this opportunity to see the kids and waited until then, and that's what the deal is? Or Flava says he had C. diff and she didn't want to expose him to other people. I do know that that's a factor also. The baby had C. diff. They didn't want to expose the baby and expose C. diff to other people. I get that. But I'm just saying, the most glaring thing, and let's just say that Molly doesn't know about the C. diff. The most obvious glaring reason for her not having that information, she would probably be respectful to the fact that they're all upset, that they're all depressed, that they're not in a good mental state, right? But let's hear how Molly responds.
Which broke my heart because, you know, you're talking about
So Molly turns on her camera so that you can see her shaking her head.
my son's son, and I never met him. And I just, you know,
So LATISHA admits she's never met the grandkid. And it doesn't go through their mind at all that maybe it's not Dre. Maybe there's some responsibility on LATISHA for never trying to meet the kid while Marvon was alive to make that decision. Awake to make that decision, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Vaughn had it. Okay, gotcha, Flava.
you know, that was a little heartbreaking. But I looked at the bigger picture, which is the bigger picture was from the beginning of me just wanting to be there and see him. So I accomplished.
Oh, yeah. Molly's reaction after she said she'd never seen the grandson was, oh, shit, don't say that. I don't want my audience. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with
that
you.
part. So I looked at the bigger picture. You just take this time out and be with your son, but you're going to see your grandson no matter what, whether it's the good way or the bad way, but you're going to see him.
You don't get a right to talk like this, LATISHA. I can't believe that LB didn't say anything or Justin didn't say anything. Can't believe Molly didn't say anything. Like, hey, LATISHA, we probably should remind you that, or how about just say, well, why didn't you ever see him before now? Like, why didn't you come see him before this? Because you do have to consider how Dre, her mental state is, which we already know it's horrible if you've watched her videos. She's crying, she's breaking down, she's shaking. I know none of them care about any of that. But what about the mental state of the child who doesn't understand why his father's in the hospital?
And I just put it aside so I wouldn't, you know, ruin the rest of my visits with my son. And
the rest of your visits, you literally just said that you only saw him for 1 3-hour block. And now you're saying here, it's like July 24th or whatever, that you had other visits with him. How does that go along with the narrative that Dre prevented you from seeing him?
But it hurt it. It really did because I was, you know, even if she'd have told me no towards the girl, but come on. Why I couldn't see Raza while I was there?
What kind of person, LATISHA, is on this stream airing out that business of her grandson? She didn't even think about her grandson when she aired this out on Molly's and LB, Leslie Bass, and Justice for All's stream. She didn't even think about the fact that maybe, like, if you want to see him and you want to have a good relationship with Dre, how about you don't attack Dre and air your family's issues when Dre is at least trying to be... Dre did not have to be okay to even talk to LATISHA. Oh, yes, she did. She's Vaughn's mom. She hadn't seen Vaughn. She's never met the grandkid. I don't think that there's a good relationship there. The relationship isn't where Dre's got to be the bigger person every time, while she's experiencing one of the worst traumas of her adult life, losing her husband, right? The mother, LATISHA, should also be acting like, have a little responsibility here. But you don't see any of that come out. LATISHA can admit she's never met the grandson ever, and it won't even go through any of these three people's minds. Why?
But it was absolutely not.
Could it have to do with stealing money from Marvon and Dre? Why would Dre take someone... This is why you don't steal money from people in your family, especially. Because if you steal money from your family, they have a right not to let you come around. If you lie to them and talk them into signing so that you can get a vehicle, and then you stop paying it but refuse to give the vehicle back, and you refuse and you let them harass your son for the money, they have a right not to see you. I'm sorry, but why is there no discussion of any of this on any of... Because it's the narrative, y'all. It's not the truth. The truth would be, okay, LATISHA, you're coming in. You got good, you got bad. You know, we're going to have to talk about all that stuff. If you're going to bring up, seeing the grandkid and try to act like Dre. You should see this live chat. Dre, you're a sick, vile human. She filed for emergency power of attorney. Has she filed for emergency power of attorney? How can anyone be that mean and hateful? Yeah, I don't know how LATISHA could be that mean and hateful to rip them off for all this money and then not see the grandkid for 8 years. I don't know how LATISHA... Oh, you mean Dre. Respect for your coverage, even if someone hates Dre. She didn't deserve to be alone at the hardest time of their life. Perfect exclamation on timing. A mom and kids are alone. I'm sorry, Dre. And again, I'm not taking Dre's side. I'm not. Dre made mistakes. But this is life. This isn't the fairy tale that Molly, Leslie Bass, and Justin for All. Now, guess what, though? I always say to you guys, I want you to look a little tiny bit deeper. Little bit deeper here. All right? Why did Leslie Bass, Justice for All, and Molly agree with LATISHA on every one of these points? Now, in the past, Leslie has said that she thinks that people shouldn't cover this when there's a family tragedy. You don't bring people that are involved in a family tragedy and bring up the stuff that happens. And yeah, I got this recorded. Leslie saying this. Leslie's changed all of her opinions on covering these kind of stories from when this happened a couple years ago to now. Now, Justice for All, I don't really know much about Justice for All, but with a channel name like Justice for All, wouldn't he be considered about both sides of a story, actual justice, which justice is built upon the truth, upon fairness, all that garbage? Check my PayPal, will do, Breezy. Thank you. Immensely, thank you and everyone else that's supporting us. PayPal, like I always say, is something that supports us now. It's not that I don't appreciate the super chats. I do 1,000%. I just share the PayPal because it comes in now. You know what I mean? The super chats come in next month. PayPal's now. So thank you, Breezy. Thank you to everyone that's supporting us. Thank you to Real Justice, Free with Truth, just super chatted. Thank you to all you.
Yeah.
They're all real quiet right here. I mean, this would be the perfect opportunity for Justice for All to say, hey, LATISHA, why didn't you see the grandson at all before this? How about Leslie chimes in? Hey, LATISHA, why are you trying to make Dre look like the bad guy? Don't you have some responsibility for maybe like ignoring the grandson for his whole life, ignoring Vaughn and the grandson and all these other, like maybe like you should have built a relationship with Vaughn, apologized to him for stealing all of his money, you know, any of this. Now, also, this factors into the argument that's made for why it's important to know who you're donating to, not if you're tipping, not if you're supporting a show. Yeah, you need to know, you need to watch their content because you're supporting their content. But some people out there have this really hard time in their mind wondering why it is that when someone comes up and airs all of this family drama, trying to make Dre look like the bad guy in every situation, making sure to defer every bit of their own responsibility out the window, that matters here. It does matter. ASU says Leslie jumped on the story to stick it to Katie. Yeah, hate's a powerful thing. You know what I see looking at this? Nothing but hate. Nothing but hate. So easy to hate somebody, especially when you've got these people leading the hate. I don't even blame the majority of people down here. I don't blame people that change their mind. You didn't have all the information. You didn't know this. Why didn't you know this then? Because they weren't telling you. Because they didn't check the story. They didn't care. It wouldn't have made them money. It would have made you mad. You would have gotten mad at them if they would have said that stuff. You would have gotten mad. PVO, I'm glad truth is being talked about. They scare others from talking about it. Ready for the bullying for KJ to stop and truth to come. Thank you, says PVO. And just so everybody knows, there's a lot of people lying out there on me saying that I'm friends with Katie. That Katie, you know how Katie gave some super chats to me a few days ago? Well, a bunch of liars out there have taken that to mean that Katie's paying me. Why did Katie get mad at me yesterday and today? Because she said that I've been criticizing her every day that I've been live, because I have been criticizing Katie every day that I've been live. If you go to UniRock 2, the majority of my videos that are on that channel that have to do with Katie are me criticizing Katie, and you can fact check that yourself, okay? So you got to ask yourself, I know that Leslie knows a lot of those people that were lying on me. She's friends with the people that were telling this lie about Katie paying for my opinion, even though my opinion was negative against Katie. And then I got to ask myself, I wonder if, do you think Leslie might have talked to him? I have to go with my own belief there, but I do believe she did.
And everything's going good. Are you happy with your attorney?
Yes, and I'm happy, but just like she said, I'm probably gonna walk around here with more lawyers than Donald Trump. Because
I'm going to. Do you notice how she says I'm going to? It's a future tense thing. This is a tell. This is what we call a tell. So LATISHA doesn't, she was asked if she's happy with her attorney. That means an appropriate response would be giving information about the attorney, whether the attorney is doing a good job, whether the attorney is charging them the correct amount of money. Are you feeling me? It would be a diversionary tactic to take a question about the validity of the attorney or how good the attorney is going, and then to talk about how I'm going to have as many lawyers as Donald Trump. You see, when you lie, you got to analyze a lie. If LATISHA's lying in her mind, she's going to want to tell a lie that will just so happen to make it sound like the thing she's going to be getting in trouble for or lying for is actually the opposite of what it is. So if LATISHA, let's just take LATISHA's comment. It's about how in the future, she's going to have more lawyers. So if we said to ourselves, if she was lying about the question, the opposite of in the future I'll have more lawyers is right now I don't have a lawyer. You see what I'm saying? Did I state that? You understand what I'm saying? It's hard to say it. If LATISHA is lying to Molly's question. Molly's question, are you happy with your lawyer? Number one, she's going to deflect. And number two, she's going to exaggerate the opposite of what she's lying about. Well, she did deflect because she's talking about the future and how many lawyers she's going to have, just happens to be a lot, which would be the opposite of what she would want to lie about. She wants to lie about how she doesn't have a lawyer and she's supposed to by now with all that money she got. You see what you feel me? Are you following me here? I hope you're following me, y'all. Because this is why every little bit of this that I look at, red flag after red flag after red flag. Is LATISHA lying? I hate to say it, but there's even circumstantial evidence to believe she is. Why? Because there is a group of thousands of us on the internet who've been politely asking LATISHA to put out the evidence of the lawyer that she hired, when she was hired, and how much money it cost to hire that lawyer, so that we know that she didn't rip you guys off. And LATISHA refuses, Molly refuses, LB refuses, and Justin refuses. Not only that, LB attacked me and lied on me. Justin told you to put it in your pipe and smoke it when he was asked that question. And Molly has done nothing but attack you and cause drama and lie and flip out and have these cringy responses ever since. The hubby said okay again, or CK again, CK okay? Oh, the hubby said check again. Oh my gosh, Breezy, what are you guys doing to me? What are you guys doing to me? You guys gonna make it to where I'm like eating a steak tomorrow? Eating a steak for dinner while I'm prepping that next stream. Thank you. God, you guys are too kind. You guys are too kind. I completely see why Molly and these other YouTubers and LATISHA descended upon your generosity, because you're very generous people. You're giving people. And that's a great thing. It is a great thing. It's one of the best qualities that a person can have, because you're helping other people, right? But at the same time, the thing, our world is made with these little, vulnerabilities. That's the thing about being a good person, is you have to put up with the fact that it makes you vulnerable to bad people. And the challenge I've always found is trying to handle these situations and not become the thing that got you. You feeling me, Amy? Thank you. You can't let yourself become Molly. You can't let yourself become Justin or Leslie. You can't let yourself become LATISHA. We don't want to start being mean to people. We don't want to start getting angry. You know what we want? The truth. We want the truth. Now, I promised you guys I would tell you more details on what's going to happen with getting the reports turned in, and I want to give that to you before I get too deep into anything else. And then we've got a lot more to hear about LATISHA, Molly, Leslie, and Justin, and how they asked for your money. And again, why does that matter? Because how they ask for your money, what they tell you your money's going to be used for, and how they get it out of you is how you know whether you've been ripped off. And I hate to say it. I do hate to say it. I'd love for this story to be where mistakes were made, but eventually they did the right thing. But I don't think it's gonna be good at the end of this, y'all. You can kind of just tell by looking at this, it's just not gonna be that great. Let me talk to you about the reports. I told you there's good news and there's bad news when it comes to us getting these reports done. The bad news, I'll give it to you first because it's not that bad. The bad news is I have to wait for a call back. I had to call and leave messages on 2 different voicemails, and I had to speak to one person who just didn't have a lot of information. They knew about procedure. They knew about what would have to happen. They didn't know what would happen. They didn't know when it would happen, because what I was told is that they are very busy. I guess there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of issues going on, and it's just going to be a waiting game. And I know some people wanted me to give the Georgia, they wanted me to give you a number in Georgia. And some people wanted the FCC. I'm going to basically try to give you those kind of numbers in the next few days. And the most important, though, number, and that's after talking to Nate, the lawyer who's busted fraud raisers. Like he has one of the best records on YouTube for busting fraud raisers besides myself and some of the other people out there. And he says that the most important thing is for me to make these calls, to get in touch, find out where we can submit. Like, you're going to call, and I don't know if you're going to talk to someone or if you're going to leave a message, and you're going to be telling them what happened, what the most important parts of it are, telling them how much you donated, why you feel like you've been ripped off, or why you were lied to, or if you got attacked. And these are the things you're going to be telling them when you call in. I'll have a list. I'll have it all written down. I'll be able to put it up on my channel. But the thing is, we got to be realistic. This is us calling in and asking for extra help on something, and they just don't. It's not they don't respect that people get ripped off on the internet. It's that on the internet, the reason there's so many people that target you through the internet in this way is because it's a new kind of field in law enforcement. It's really hard for them with the amount of theft that happens, the amount of people being ripped off, and the reporting and all this. It's like, which jurisdiction, what local department would even handle it, what local PD is it? It's a state level, and these things you just have to work through. You got to just basically we'll stumble upon someone who can help us. I'll have to wait for them to have the time to actually sit down and talk longer, and they'll give me a list of instructions on how to get these reports given to the correct place. Because again, I'm not going to have you give me reports. I'm a YouTuber, and I have to respect your privacy. I don't want your private information. So it's just going to be one of those things. But the good news is, everyone I talked to said that they asked me general questions, and from Nate all the way over to when I made the phone calls, all the way over to some of the other people I've talked to on the internet, they said with the fact that Marvon is in the hospital, and with the fact of the doxing and the other stuff that's happened around this story, that in their opinions, every single one of them said they think that we'll have good luck at least being able to submit our reports. No one knows what's going to happen after that, though. And so I think we're getting a lot of good news. Truly, it's taken us a lot longer in past situations to have any good news at all, and we had a hard time with it the end of last week leading into the weekend. And of course, on the weekend there's not a lot we can do, and to have at least some good news on a Monday, I think that's great. I think that's really good for us. We got to keep we got to keep our eyes forward. We got to keep our boots on the ground with this, and we have to really just keep trying. And in the very least, there is really good news, and that is that YouTube will look at this. According to some YouTubers I've spoken with, they'll look at this if we can put a packet of information together for them. So they want clips that show what happened, and we can try to tag team YouTube here in the next couple weeks whenever we get everything together. And at that point, I'm going to ask all of you I'm going to put out a tweet. I'm going to ask all of you put out a tweet when we do it. We'll all tag team YouTube, and we'll all attach the link that's going to have the files in it that show the clips that happened on YouTube. We'll make sure that each of those files link to the channel that it happened on. And I've been given at least a good, response that YouTube will look into this to at least at first. Does that mean they'll do something? I have no idea. Will the Popo do something? I have no idea. It's good news, though. It's a start. You know what I mean? It's making more progress, which is all we can really hope for.
Because it's like for everything that needs to be done is requiring another attorney.
I don't believe LATISHA. LATISHA is saying that everything that needs to be done requires another attorney. That's completely insane. What are you talking about? I can't. I can see you needing an attorney to help you file things to get some type of information with Vaughn. But then again, as you've admitted, Dre let you go. Dre let you see Vaughn. You said you saw Vaughn, and you said that that was good. Then you've got the grandson situation. You're not going to have any luck with the grandson situation. I think that if she did call attorneys, I agree with the people out there who think that she didn't get any good news. A lot of people think that attorneys didn't pick up her case because she doesn't have a case. And attorneys aren't going to waste their time on a case just so they can lose it, just so that it can be go off into the wind, just so it can be thrown out by a judge the minute it comes across his desk. Because you can't file stuff that doesn't adhere to the law, or the judge is going to throw it out. She said they told her she would need more attorneys than Trump. Yeah, we just played that clip. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think that she's not being honest. I find that to be her lying so that she can get the response that she wants from the audience, right? She wants the audience to think she's experiencing a hurdle, and that hurdle will need more money, so that you'll give more money. She's going to need, you gave me X amount of money to get one lawyer. Well, now I need 2. Now I need 3. You're going to have to give me 3 times the money you gave me. That's how I'm seeing this.
No, and I'm like, oh my God. But if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. Probate attorneys are different from
probate attorneys. Probate attorneys. What is she talking about? Now, I don't know shit about the law. I admit that all the damn time. Just telling you. Probate attorney handles the process of estate administration after a person dies? Why are you trying to fuck with his estate? You do want his estate. Oh my God. You do know that Marvon supposedly inherited some money maybe like a year before he died. Weren't you guys telling me he inherited some money? Probate, now the estate is Marvon's money. So she just named a probate, and look at Molly's reaction. Look at Molly's reaction. She says probate attorney, and Molly's like, oh shit, I know what that is. Oh, hope nobody caught that one. She's after his money, says Mel. Why else would she name a probate attorney here? She needs an attorney to see Marvon and then for the kid. What does that have to do with him dying? Oh, God. And you know how they were talking about... So one of the people that follow me was talking to me in Discord, and they were saying that they believed they wanted medical power of attorney so they could pull the plug on Marvon. And I'm like, oh, come on. Why would they want to do that? And they said, because Marvon inherited money like a year ago. And I responded like, yeah, but, that's still pretty extreme. And there's really no reason to think that. Now, I found out later a lot of people felt that way, but I've never heard her say that she needed a probate attorney until now. How do I pass you information about a friend of mine who was doxxed and attacked over this? Well, first things first, make sure that you redact any of their personal information, okay? Make sure you completely redact anything that's... I don't want their private information. I don't want to ever have a chance of having any invasion of their privacy. Navy has ways for you to send in things that have happened. All I ask is that if you have a screenshot or something, just maybe like you know, take a pen, like a photo editing program, and just X out the private information, right? But Navy shares an email address and his @ on Twitter. I'll make sure we get it soon in the chat for you, okay? And Navy, if you're listening, will you throw that in for me? Because I saw him in the chat.
An attorney, if you're...
I got to hear this again, this whole probate attorney. Now watch Molly's reaction.
You know, probate attorneys are different from an attorney if you're...
Oh, yeah. As soon as she said probate attorney, Molly was like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So probate attorneys work on estate planning. Attorneys work with living clients to draft wills, trusts, living trust, power of attorney, and they may even serve as an executor or administrator of an estate if the person has no one else to designate. Oh my God.
You're trying to do a lawsuit. A lawsuit attorney is different from a prosecution/defense attorney. When you're...
What are you fucking talking about? You can't hire a prosecution attorney. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could hire an attorney that used to be a prosecutor, I guess, but...
Trying to press charge.
Rewind it some? Will do. Will do. Let's go back 20 seconds.
You know, probate attorney...
Who the fuck is sitting here typing on their screen?
Attorneys are different from...
Is that Justin?
An attorney if you're trying to do a lawsuit. A lawsuit attorney is different from a...
Why hasn't Molly said anything about the LATISHA texts that were released with LATISHA speaking bad on Molly? She's going to ignore it and slip away, just like Leslie Bass and others did. Exactly. Exactly. She doesn't want to piss LATISHA off, because if LATISHA ever comes out and just dumps everything out there, which if LATISHA does, I swear to God, like, LATISHA will earn people's respect by telling the truth, getting out there and dropping what really happened. If Molly tried to get her to do something, if they tried to talk her into hiding something, that's what LATISHA needs to come out and tell us. We would never, ever be mean to LATISHA if she came out and told the truth. Ever. It would help us immensely get to the bottom of everything. So I hope to God LATISHA changes her mind and comes in and just like, look, I made mistakes. I didn't know what to do. I was also going through a lot of shit, and I'm going through a horrible time in my life, and you know, if she has stuff to tell us, I've been saying it for a week, she needs to tell us.
Prosecution/defense attorney when you're trying to press charges. So
when you're trying to press charges, you just go to the police. LATISHA, what are you talking about? You don't have to hire. She just said that you have to hire a prosecution attorney. Is that even true? Can you even do that? Is there a state somewhere that lets you hire a prosecution attorney so that she could press charges on Dre? No, you go to the police, you file a report, they do an investigation, and if they feel there's something they can pass to the DA, then they do. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? What is she talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's any state in the United States that does it that way. Georgina says they work for the state. She's a joke. She's just up here lying her ass off. But here's the thing. I know for a fact that LB knows that's not true. I know Justin knows it's not true. And I know Molly knows that that's not true. It would be sus as fuck if you tried to hire a prosecutor. That's all sorts of illegal. LATISHA's sitting here saying this. That's what she's needing to do.
They go 3 different attorneys right there.
She just said that she needs those 3 attorneys. A probate, a prosecutor, and then didn't she say she needs a defense? She does realize you only need a defense attorney if you did something wrong, right, LATISHA? Are you kind of admitting something here, that you're going to need a defense attorney by the end of this? Well, you just said that. Again, a probate attorney is the first one she named. They handle the process of estate administration after someone dies. And if you think I'm bullshitting, let me just show you. They handle the estate after someone dies. I think she just slipped up right here, y'all. I think that was a big slip up. Holy shit.
So it's you know, it's, yeah, if anybody know an attorney that can do it all, please direct me in the right spot. But
hey, They did. They paid you a shit ton of money. You walk in, you sit down with an attorney, and an attorney will tell you, I don't think you've talked to anybody, LATISHA. If you would have spoken to a single attorney, they would have, for one, you're going to have to pay them, right? When I go in, I have an attorney. My moderators in my Discord know this. I have an attorney. And when I go in to talk to my attorney, if it's a new case, I've got to pay them money to even sit down and talk to them because they're working. So you walk in, you pay them for an hour. Usually it's like cheaper than their normal hourly rate. It should only be like 80 or 120 bucks, $200 depending, right? They tell you everything you need to do. In fact, they'll typically give you phone numbers. They'll write it down for you. You typically walk out of their office with a manila envelope full of instructions and business cards and shit. How do I know? I've done this like 5 times.
As from what I'm going through right now, it's like everybody has their own field of expertise. So,
yeah, I don't believe you've talked to anybody. Even a basic attorney would at least tell you, this is where you got to go. This is what you got to do. Go talk to this person. Go talk to this kind of attorney. Here, I know some phone numbers for you. Like, it's just, she sounds so uneducated in any of this. And this is supposedly someone who's gotten tens of thousands of dollars in her account by her own admission. 2, 3, 4 days into this, she said she made almost $10,000 just a couple days into this. And she was supposedly going and sitting down and actually fucking... This is crazy. In a later stream, she claimed she needed an attorney in Yuma because the Phoenix attorney couldn't file a POA in Yuma. These cities are in the same state and state law applies. So why would she say it? I don't understand. Smiles says if she talked to an attorney, they should know the AZ law about the hospital visits. So are we saying she didn't talk to an attorney at all? Clearly, you're just hopping on this case and know nothing. Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been doing this for like a week now. This is my first stream on this, yeah. If you're so sure, by all means, prove what you're saying. If not, you might be the one who doesn't know anything, says Kimberly. Well, sure, yeah. Tell us what we did wrong, Kimberly. Hook us up. We'll hear you out. Dolores, thank you. Appreciate you. I love that sticker, by the way. I've never seen that before. That's pretty awesome. Let me go back like 10 seconds. I got to hear that last part.
As from what I'm going through right now, it's like everybody has their own field of expertise. So I just have to go from.
Whoever is typing on their shit is so fucking annoying, and they have to know that it's getting picked up by their mic.
There.
Molly and Justin convinced her to sue the YPD, but she didn't file anything yet, has she? Oh, thanks, thanks, Donna. Hell, I've already went through what with you guys, how many hours of video, and we've barely put a dent in it. Like, this is a 4-hour stream. This is just the beginning of this stream where LATISHA's talking. I was told to tell you we are working to find the stream that MGL and Justin said they would match super chats. Please, Flava, the minute you find it, get it to me. Kim said she would have to file civil, and civil works in contingency. They will not take it as there is no money to win. Yeah, but that's why she would have to put up the money. If she wants like a certain result, right? It's going to be expensive because there isn't money to win. And she would have to like, it would have to be valuable to the attorney in either the winnings, and if there's nothing to win, then in the payment they get. And so they'd have to pay a pretty big chunk of money. When you can check PayPal, you'll laugh. To there, I'll check it real quick here. Oh, I did it on the wrong browser.
Oh, man.
It's okay. We're here to help you. We're
Why?
still
Why, LATISHA? LATISHA, why, Molly? Why aren't you helping everybody involved? Or why aren't you in this in some kind of like equal way, right? Oh, I see. Well, I just appreciate you, okay? Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. Thank you.
collecting funds for your transportation and for your legal fees.
What legal fees? We want the proof of the legal fees. So this proves that this is a main... I got to record this. Okay, so let me go back like 20, 30... Actually, I'm going to go back like... I'm going to go back about 40 seconds. Let me make a new folder for this, actually, because I don't want it mixed in with all the other video I've got. So give me 1 second. So this is going to be the MGL video. And give me 1 second. Let me point my recordings this folder really quick. Shit. I'm gonna have to copy them over because it won't let me while I'm streaming. Okay. Now I'm gonna record Molly saying this, right? So how come I always realize last that you're live streaming? Hope everything's fine, Uni. Things are great. Things are great. I can TLDR with 1 to 2 sentences. Who is Molly? Is she related to Steam? No, I don't think she is. Molly is a YouTuber who covered a story that if you search... Actually, I've got a video on Unirock 2 from like 4 weeks ago if you want to watch it to get caught up. But you can search for Slay with Dre. Okay, and I understand why you're asking if she's related because they both have the same last name, but no, they're not. KC says, file a petition with the branch of the State District Court of Jurisdiction over the principal's residence, seeking judicial revocation of the POA and alleging your grounds for doing so. Exactly. Something. Anything. So let me record this because this is Molly stating the exact reason why they took money to fundraise. And we need this clip. So here we go. I'm going to press record. I'm going to play it. Actually, let me zoom in on it. All right, here we go.
But as from what I'm going through right now, it's like everybody has their own field of expertise. So I just have to go from there. Oh, man.
It's okay. We're here to help you. We're still collecting funds for your transportation and for your legal fees. We are...
I said, yeah. Why we on here with this truck situation?
Truck situation.
Oh, my God. Yeah, my car.
What about it?
They're attacking me about my car.
Oh, they're attacking you
I
about
guess-
your car. Why?
I
Why
guess-
would they do that?
It's being said that I took the funds and bought a new car. I didn't buy a new car.
See what they're doing? This is such a distractionary measure here. Okay, we got that clip. I actually want the clip. Let me do it this way so that I don't have to make you sit through me recording it. Let me copy the timestamp and put it in. We need this clip because this clip is where they LATISHA says she needs a, quote, probate attorney. And a probate attorney would be someone that would help her with Marvon's money and estate after he dies. If she was trying to get some of Marvon's money, or if she's trying... Like, why do you need a probate attorney for the estate if you're just trying to get an issue with something to do with seeing him in the hospital, and also visitation toward the grandson? And then she even insinuated she was going to try to take the grandson from the mother, from Dre, which,
Or anybody that know me know I done had that car since September 2020. And that's the same vehicle I drove where I was going, you know.
So they're actually, LATISHA, they're talking about where you talked Marvon into co-signing a car for you and made him make all the payments, and this is what made the family not talk to you for a long period of time. That's what they're not criticizing you for buying a new car now, and you know that. So LATISHA is not being honest. She knows what she was being criticized for. Casey says, as per my last message, she wouldn't need a lawyer, but to file a petition with proof of reason for current POA should be revoked. You file it yourself to the DA. Ah, and that's I get it. Some people, like myself, are too dumb to file basic legal paperwork, and that's why even for little things, they get an attorney. So I could understand her hiring an attorney just to file even dumb stuff like that. You don't even really need an attorney for that. You can get, like, there are attorneys you can hire that'll just do paperwork and file it for you. It's way cheaper than a regular attorney, and they'll do up the paperwork, all that, and then you pick it up and sign it and take it and file it wherever you got to file it and pay the filing fee, right? But
being said that I took the funds and bought a new car, I didn't buy a new car. Anybody that know me know I done had that car since September of 2020. And that's the same vehicle I drove where I was going, you know. I mean, I don't get that. I'm
why
not
is Molly?
take funds.
Why is Molly sitting there with her mouth hanging open? Like, it just looks so weird. Tomorrow, one of my lawsuits will be dismissed with prejudice as the plaintiff hasn't filed the case in court. They've made no request for discovery, and we haven't heard from their lawyer in months. If they claim they received any statements or documents from me, they are lying. Woo! That's Katie. That's Katie. Katie just said that one of her lawsuits is getting filed, dismissed with prejudice in the morning. Holy shit.
If I spent the money that was donated to me and trust me, Katie wasn't the that was donated funds. If I spent the money that was...
Did she say if I front the money? Like if I front it? Let me turn this up.
Where I was going, you know. I mean, I don't get that. I'm not going to take...
Sticky says she's catching flies. I think she is, yeah.
Funds. If I spent the money that was donated to me and trust me, Katie wasn't the only one requesting a refund. Now, that money, I wouldn't be able to...
Katie wasn't the only one requesting a refund.
...to pay back people if the money was used for it.
Why is Molly so shocked? Why is she so shocked? She already knew this. She's gonna act like she didn't know this, really?
Trust me, Katie wasn't the only one requesting a refund. Now, that money, I wouldn't be able to pay back people if the money was used for anything. That money is...
That's right. You told me a week ago that the money is still sitting there.
That money is there.
So why did she say she needed until Friday to refund certain people? Why'd she block all the other refund requests? This doesn't add up. This does not add up. Their narrative has changed since then. This happened, what? Let me look at my calendar. So this would have happened right around 3 weeks, 2 weeks before we started, 3 weeks before we started streaming on this. The first 2 streams we did was about how you guys asked for refunds and LATISHA refused them and turned off refunds. Then one person she unblocked, which was Jules, who was it? She unblocked one person and told them that she couldn't refund them until Friday, and it was a Monday. And everybody said, why can't you refund them until Friday if the money's in the account? And wait. Hallelujah. Okay, I just had a realization. Hold up. Hold up. You just said you had to hire lawyers. You just said this, LATISHA. So why are you telling Molly that all the money is in your account? Why haven't you paid any? So you haven't paid for lawyers. You don't have a lawyer. You've been lying.
On now, that money, I wouldn't be able to pay back people if the money was used for anything. That money is
That's
still
right. You
sitting
told
there.
me a week ago that the money is still sitting there.
It's because she claimed she was just sending money to everyone who requested it via the app. She didn't realize a request wasn't a refund. She said, I don't believe her. Yeah, I don't believe her. I don't believe her. I get what you're saying, though. So she's admitting here, and this is on the 24th, that she hadn't hired a lawyer yet. She hasn't spent any money. She hasn't filed anything. And so they've conned us. They have conned us.
To pay back people if the money was used for anything. That money is
That's
still
right. You
sitting there.
told me a week ago that the money is still sitting there.
Whoever was saying I can't with you all, dumb as fuck. What? Hold on. I can't with you all. Dumb as fake admins and fake KJ. Well, KJ's not here. She got pissed yesterday and left because I wouldn't talk to her and I wouldn't stop criticizing her. Those are her words. And my admins aren't even here. I don't know what you're talking about. My admins are in Discord. That's the only place I have admins. So, whatever.
The money is there. I mean, what I'm only, I asked for, in the beginning, I asked for help with an attorney for visit.
Okay. LATISHA just told on herself. That's why you're getting trolls in the chat right now. They're pissed off because we just found this clip. This proves that LATISHA was lying, at least. This also proves that Molly was lying. Because Molly knows that LATISHA, they were trying to say she had a lawyer back in the very beginning of July. And that she was getting the lawyer then. People who wanted refunds back in July were told that she'd gotten the lawyer, that she has 2 lawyers. Like, this is all... this is a bombshell. This is just going to show that they just ripped you all off and that this is a complete contradiction. Them saying that the money is still in the account, but LATISHA hired 2 lawyers and paid for him, proves they are lying. This is why they won't show evidence of their lawyer. This is why they wouldn't do refunds. This is why they've been lying this whole time. Exactly. She said she got a lawyer on July 12th. This is the 24th. Let me just check one more time here because I just looked at it. I'm sorry, I was wrong. This is the 26th. So let me pull up my calendar. I'm going to count the days. So she had the lawyer. 2 weeks later, admits that she admits that 1 week after promising the attorney, Molly knew she didn't hire the attorney because the money's still in the account. And then 2 weeks later, LATISHA admits on this live stream that she didn't pay for the attorney. We need to record this. I need to play this. Here we go. They got y'all. Oh, I'm recording everything. Not only are we recording it, we're backing it up. We're making it to where they can't delete it. They can't lie. They can't gaslight. We got it all.
Bought a new car. I didn't buy a new car. Anybody that know me know I done had that car since September 2020. And that's the same vehicle I drove where I was going, you know. I mean, I don't get that. I'm not going to take funds. If I spent the money that was donated to me and trust me, Katie wasn't the only one requesting a refund. Now, that money, I wouldn't be able to pay back people
so fake.
if the money was used for anything.
You're
That
so
money
fake,
is
man.
That's right. You told me a week ago that the money is still sitting there.
Well, thank you, Molly, for busting yourself and LATISHA. Thank you for busting yourselves and admitting that LATISHA didn't get her lawyer and it was lies the whole time. We love having these clips. These are the clips we need. This is why I said going back and pulling these clips is going to be what busts it wide open. So you didn't get a lawyer. You didn't get 2 lawyers. You didn't get 3 lawyers. This is why LATISHA right here told the lie and said, I'm going to have more lawyers because you don't have none here. You lied to everybody. You lied to everybody. Molly, you need to come out and tell the truth. Tell everybody who donated to this to get their money back. And I'm sending this clip in. This clip is going straight in. And these people that got ripped off are going to file reports. And they are going to investigate this. You guys, I get it. I get it, Molly. I get it, LATISHA. You got to go live. You need more donations. You got to keep talking. This is what sinks every time. This is what sinks the people that do this. You get up there and you start talking and you start talking. And because you're lying, you start to contradict yourself. You wanted it to make it sound like you could pay back all the refunds, but you didn't think about how it would bust you for not hiring the lawyers. Dunzo.
Money is there. I mean, what I asked for in the beginning. I asked for help with an attorney for visitation rights.
Yeah.
Okay. So happened, my attorney was able to negotiate terms without going into.
What attorney? You just said you have all the money. You haven't spent any. You just lied 3 times in 2 minutes.
A courthouse.
Right.
So, but that still does not mean that I did not have to pay her that retainer fee.
Of course, you still have to.
You just said you don't have. You just said it was all in your bank account. You just admitted you didn't pay any retainer. You're changing your story every 30 seconds.
Pay her.
Documents that were signed and ready to be sent to court is still sitting there because we were scared that after the first visit that I would get barred. But
wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? You hired an attorney. You paid them to draw up a bunch of documents. You gave them your money. You told them not to file until after you went and visited. But this is well after your visit. When you're telling people that you need more visitation, more money for more. You're not adding. None of this adds up. None of this adds up. None of it adds up. All I got to do is pause every 15 seconds and none of it adds up.
things worked itself out where that's why I was so cautious and so limited on what I was doing when I was there because I did not want to get my visit snatched away.
Why is your husband saying Dre couldn't stop him from visiting? Did you even go visit? Because if you would have went and visited, they would have told you Dre can't stop you, just like they told Marvon Sr. Good thing Marvon Sr. went down there. It's a good thing he went and visited and saw his son and actually did what he said he was going to do. It's a good thing he did that. Doesn't make sense. I can't even like all of the contradictions, all the lies. It's just constant. Guys, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to give me about. You're gonna have to give me like about 2 minutes because I need to download this entire stream. I just realized I haven't downloaded this one yet. I'm sure other people have it, but I need it for my records just in case Justin tries to snatch it. So let me go ahead and put it in this new folder. MGL busts herself. All right, save that. Now it's going to take just about 2 minutes to get it fully downloaded. Don't worry, I got really fast internet. One second, we're gonna have some. Okay, we got it. We good? Nope, still downloading. You guys, if you get a little bit of loading, it's okay. It's just because I'm downloading at the same time as I'm streaming. Might get a little bit of internet hiccups. It's okay.
Sure.
Sorry, when I do that, it'll make my internet hiccup a little bit.
Then I'll be going through the court.
Yeah.
Okay, now, if I hire these other 2 lawyers or whatever other lawyer,
Other 2 lawyers? Other 2? What are you talking about, LATISHA? I think it's one of the biggest bombshells of this whole story. She's trying to hire a probate lawyer. I think Dre needs to get her... It's a good thing Dre's getting her own lawyer. Dear God. Are you kidding me? Dre's already gone to a lawyer. Dre's already gotten... she's already went to the police. Dre's gonna need that because there's a reason she's trying to hire a probate lawyer, y'all. And it has something to do with money and Marvon's death. That's what a probate is.
that requires another retainer fee for that
Is Molly live yet? I give Molly about 32 seconds before she goes live.
particular lawyer and whatever else money is going to cost. I don't understand why people think that. And the hurtful part is that I asked the one time when my cousin decided to do the GoFundMe, everything else came upon people asking me for that information.
That's exactly right.
Your Zelle, your PayPal. I created these things not even knowing what they was at first.
Right.
You know, I already had a cash out, but that was it.
Of course, we asked you. We asked, so we could help you.
Yeah.
Justin, do you need anything to put in your pipe and smoke? You got to put anything in your pipe to smoke, Justin?
But I guess
I know you're eating right into your microphone. I just want to make sure you don't need anything to put in your pipe and smoke it.
that's part of the internet.
Yeah, devil's playground. Mm-hmm. But no, I want you to know that you do have a lot of loving, beautiful women that are here right now.
That you've tricked into not caring about the full story, Molly. That you have lied to, that you've withheld information from, so they don't know the truth, so they can make bad decisions with their money due to the emotional strings that are being pulled.
That are praying for you, and they are doing.
The bio stated the same thing several times about getting a probate attorney. No, God, no. What kind of money does Marvon have? Did Marvon get a settlement? I've been told he got a settlement not long before he was injured.
Donating.
LB posted July 4th on Facebook her GoFundMe for a lawyer for visits. July 4th. Yeah. And then they claimed that she hired a lawyer on July 12th. But this is more than 2 weeks later, and LATISHA is saying she hadn't spent a dime of the money, that she's got to hire 2 attorneys, that she's going to need more attorneys. It does not add up.
And they are very concerned with they're concerned about the children. They are praying for Vaughn and you and your family. And
I just don't know how YouTubers can do this. I don't know how YouTubers can sit and spit on their donators this much. Lie to their donators and spit on their donators this much. I just don't understand.
We really are trying to seek justice. And
no, you're not. You're not trying to seek justice. Seeking justice, you have to look at everything out there. Not just a couple sides that'll make people want to donate money. You got to look at everything. And justice doesn't take a month of streaming. It doesn't take a few streams. It doesn't take a hashtag.
Main thing right there.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Marvon got over $500K in a settlement. He owns his own home. They bought an RV. No one knows the amount. Justin's trying to get subscribers from Molly. He isn't even covering this on his channel. I know. He stopped the minute he started to get criticized. The minute this blew up in his face, him and Leslie ran like the Road Runner. Not sure Molly cares if she hired a lawyer. She'll say she needed the money and that we're all greedy. What then? Exactly, Nerdily. Exactly. You guys are not greedy. You guys are not greedy. You guys are generous.
You know, even though people are saying it's flipped into me, no, it's not flipped into me. It's just that we were able to cut one corner. That don't mean that these other stuff.
I hate to do this, guys. We're over the 2-hour mark, and I just found I got some stuff I got to do now with this. I got to pull some clips. I got to download some videos now, and this is too much. Tomorrow, unless they call me back, I don't have to make any phone calls tomorrow. Oh, let me lie to you. Hold on. Yeah. Unless they call me back, and I doubt they'll call me in the next couple days. I don't think I got to make phone calls tomorrow. I need to take these clips, and I need to process them, and I need to build a packet of all these. Christina says, this crooked lady played on so many people's emotions, dealing with everything from buying to adoption, broken families, and drug abuse. It's a disgrace. I agree. A surgeon messed up Vaughn's knee surgery, and then he got a payment due to the settlement from his knee getting messed up in a surgery. So that would that mean that you'd need a probate attorney if Vaughn dies in the hospital so that LATISHA can try to get money from Marvon? Is that what a probate attorney would be used for? We've got a bunch of people in our Discord server, and they're helping us. I'm pretty sure somebody downloaded this video for me. I just want to make sure okay, we've got it downloading. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I have a copy of it. I'm going to get more of these clips ready for you tomorrow for the live stream. We're going to get every one of these clips, and we're going to have them for you. And I've got 2 more videos like this for us to go through. 2 more interviews with LATISHA. If you know of an interview with LATISHA that happened after July 26th, I need it. That's what we need to look at tomorrow. Okay? I'm going to get the transcript of these. So one thing that we can do with these long videos is download a transcript. We can use a program to create a transcript. So everything that they say will be put on a big text document. Then we can search the text document and find where they're talking about certain things like lawyers, money, donations, and read it all so that we don't have to listen through the entire thing. Sorry for my misspellings. I'm turning in for the night. Rocky, fight the good fight. Good night, y'all. Well, we will. We got you. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I've got video processing I need to do. And I know I could stay live and we could keep moving tonight, but I want to have more condensed good content for you. I want to make sure people can watch the replay. So tomorrow I'm going to bring you every other clip from this stream after I process it tomorrow during the day. And then we're going to try to pull one of the other interviews with LATISHA too. And if you have an interview after July 26th, let us know. Get a hold of Navy, get a hold of me. We need every interview with LATISHA. We need to download them because I know that once Molly and Justin and Leslie and them start talking about this, I don't think it'll be too long before they start deleting some of these old videos, especially once they learn what's in it. We just heard LATISHA say that she didn't spend any of her money after she claims she spent money on 2 lawyers. So the floodgates are opening. They really, you got them, Flava? Okay, we're going to get them ready for you for tomorrow. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. I'm going to roll the credits for tonight's stream. I'm going to get back to work. These streams are where we take everything that we're looking at during the day. We get it all ready for you to bring in the evening. We try to bring it to you in the most condensed fashion that we can. And I'll be uploading to Unirock 2. It's my commentary channel, Unirock 2. Make sure you subscribe to it. Can one of my mods please share the link to Unirock 2 over here, please? And the uploads will be on Unirock 2, where I actually take these clips and I give a 10 or a 20-minute video, so it'll be easier for people who can't be in the live streams to get caught up on everything. I really need to get something uploaded after finding those clips. So LATISHA is admitting that she needs more lawyers, that she paid for her lawyers, but then she didn't pay for her lawyers, but then she did, but then she didn't, but then she did, but then she didn't. So this is, and then the whole time, the craziest part is where Molly, Justice for All, and Leslie Bass don't say a word. How do they not notice any of this? How do they not hear this? How did they not say this? They had to have. This is why Molly kept covering her face. It's why Leslie and Justin are just sitting there looking all freaking weird through the whole thing. If I was Justin and Leslie, I wouldn't do what they're doing. I would have already went live and updated you, but I can understand why they're trying to avoid this now, because this is really bad. This is turning into a really fucked up story. Like, I'm sorry. I'll see you tomorrow, y'all. Appreciate you. We got here at the end of the stream. Christina says the Crooked Lady played on so many people's emotions, dealing with everything from... I read that one, so thank you, Christina. Sorry for my misspellings. I read that one. We got no money left to hire a judge or prosecutor because Justin put it in his pipe and spunt it. Good night. Night, and thank you. You guys are awesome.